So we're live. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching this video. All right, so we got a lot of stories to go over tonight. If you're new, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Please share it with a friend. We also do an audio podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and a number of other different places. So check that out. So I am going to start with this article. Let's see here. This is it. So on the last live, we talked about the Canadian stabbing massacre. ABC News reports one suspect dead, another on the run in Canada. Stabbing massacre that left 11 dead. Wow, dude. That's insane. What do you say about that? That's nuts. One suspect is dead and a second is still on the run following a string of stabbings that killed at least 11 people across Canada's Saskatchewan province on Sunday, police said. As of Tuesday morning, authorities continue to search for 30-year-old suspect Miles Sanderson, who may be injured and seeking medical attention, according to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. He is believed to still be in the province capital of Regina, and is considered armed and dangerous, police said. The public should take appropriate precautions, the Saskatchewan RCMP wrote on a Twitter post on Monday alongside a photo of the suspect still at large. Do not approach suspicious persons and report any information to your local police and emergencies to 911. So here they are, folks. Damian Sanderson, Miles Sanderson. So there it is. One of the suspects is now dead. That's a crazy story, isn't it? I saw a lot of things where folks were talking about, oh, well, was it an assault knife? Making light of the situation. I don't think we need to make light of that situation. There's 11 folks who died. But I do understand in America, we talk a lot about guns and the mass shootings that happen in America, and they want to ban assault. Folks, no matter what you ban, there's always going to be a criminal out there that's looking to do bad stuff. It's just, it is what it is. All right. Next article. Politico's new owner pledges nonpartisan coverage while privately praying for Trump's reelection. And there it is. Trump with the Bible outside of St. John's Episcopal Church there in D.C. Everybody remembers that, right? Politico's new owner has publicly pledged to avoid partisan bias in the website's coverage, but behind the scenes, he appears to be a passionate supporter of Donald Trump. German publishing giant Axel Springer purchased the fast-growing political journal last year for then $1 billion, and its CEO Mathis Döpfner has expressed concern that the legacy newspapers like the New York Times and Washington Post have drifted too far to the left, while conservative media traffics in alternative facts, reported the Washington Post. We want to prove that the beginning nonpartisan is actually the more successful positioning, Doppner told the newspaper. However, the Post obtained an email showing that Doppner invited his closest executives to pray for Trump's reelection shortly before the 2020 election. So, Politico. Wow, folks. Politico that's big business, isn't it? Oh, we got more. We got more news articles. I know. Let's see here. That was my dog. I'm trying to find. Oh, here's an article. Judge removes Cowboys for Trump co-founder Coy Griffin from office. Bars him from seeking holding public office for walking inside U.S. Capitol on January 6th. There's the politician there. A New Mexico State District Court judge on Tuesday barred Cowboys for Trump co-founder Coy Griffin from seeking or holding state or federal office for walking through the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. The judge also ordered Griffin to be removed as a Tiro County Commissioner executive immediately. Griffin did not commit any violent acts on January 6th. However, the judge ruled that the January 6th Capitol protest was an insurrection. So apparently judges can just say it was an insurrection. So it was an insurrection. This January 6th stuff, I swear. Next article. All right, there's a lot of news, folks. A lot of news out today. I am going to put up this. The super rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. Tech billionaires are buying up luxurious bunkers and hiring military security to survive a societal collapse they helped create. But like everything they do, it has unintended consequences. You can read that article over on The Guardian. But folks, why are rich preppers planning to save themselves from the apocalypse? What do they know that we don't know? Think about it, folks. Think about it. There's a lot of folks I follow here on YouTube, right? YouTube's a great platform to look at different articles, different news stories. I'm sorry, I'm tired tonight, but I wanted to bring this video to everybody. And but we're going into strange times, folks. Strange times, and you have to be prepared. There's a lot of folks I follow on YouTube, like I said. One of them is NY Prepper. That's one of them. Let's take that off. NY Prepper. I'm going to play one of his videos, and I want you just to watch the video, decide for yourself, subscribe to his channel if you can. There's a lot of different folks, and I'll bring them on in more videos as we get better at this and do different things. But I'm going to share his video. NY Prepper. Let's see here. Right there. All right, folks. So here's the video. It's Red Alert. UN holds meeting about Ukraine's Zaporizhia nuclear plant. Calls for DMZ around it. I'm going to play this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
I remain gravely concerned about the situation in and around the Zaporizhia plant, including reports of recent shelling. Let's tell it like it is. Any damage, whether intentional or not, to Europe's largest nuclear power plant in Zaporizhia or to any other nuclear facility in Ukraine could spell catastrophe, not only for the immediate vicinity, but for the region and beyond.
This video is about
All
14
steps
minutes
must
long,
be
folks.
taken to avoid such a scenario. Common sense and cooperation must guide the way forward. Any action that might endanger the physical integrity, safety, or security of the nuclear plant is unacceptable. All efforts to re-establish the plant as purely civilian infrastructure are vital. As a first step, Russian and Ukrainian forces must commit not to engage in any military activity towards the plant site or from
Look
the
at the
plant
masks
site.
in the background.
Zaporizhia facility and its surroundings must not be a
You have
target
an
or a platform
N95
for military operations.
and just the cloth mask.
As a second step, an agreement on a
works.
demilitarized perimeter should be secured. Specifically, that would include a commitment by Russian forces to withdraw all military personnel and equipment from that perimeter, and the commitment by Ukrainian forces not to move into it. Operators at the plant must be able to carry out their responsibilities and communications must be maintained. Now is the time to urgently agree on concrete measures to ensure the safety of the area. Mr. President, regrettably, last month, the 10th Review Conference of the parties to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons fell victim to the war in Ukraine. The outcome document sought to address the issue of the safety and security of nuclear power plants in armed conflict zones, including in Ukraine. But the conference failed to reach consensus to utilize the opportunity to strengthen the treaty. I appeal to all states to use every avenue of dialogue and diplomacy to make progress on these critical issues. Mr. President, looking ahead, I trust that the IAEA experts now deployed to Zaporizhia will be able to carry out their work without hindrance and contribute to ensuring lasting nuclear safety and security in the plant. All of us have a stake in the success of their critical mission. Let us commit to do everything we can to support them. And let us resolve to keep working for peace in line with international law and the United Nations Charter. Thank you.
And I also want to thank the Secretary General for his presence amongst ourselves today. And as he was referring in his remarks to the remarkable work that the UN gave through its personnel to our important mission. By being with them for a few days and sharing some very tense moments, I could see their heroic dedication and devotion to the cause of the United Nations. Thank you very much, Secretary General. We will continue, I hope, working together to bring stability to the nuclear facilities in Ukraine. So today, you may have seen that I issued a comprehensive report emanating from the mission I had the honor to lead last week in Ukraine and the visit to the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. This mission has been the result of a painstaking effort of close to 6 months, during which strenuous efforts were deployed to try to do just that, to be there with our inspectors, to address a comprehensive report of the situation, to corroborate some facts that we have been observing for the last 6 months, but not stop there, and to also provide very, very concrete recommendations based upon what we saw at the plant. The first important safety pillar that exists in any nuclear facility is not to violate its physical integrity. And unfortunately, and as I had the opportunity to say also during the briefing that took place on August 11th under the Chinese presidency, this has happened, and this continues to happen. The physical attack, wittingly or unwittingly, the hits that this facility has received and that I could personally see and assess together with my experts is simply unacceptable. We are playing with fire, and something very, very catastrophic could take place. This is why in our report we are proposing the establishment of a nuclear safety and security protection zone.
It's all about safety,
limited
folks.
to the perimeter and the plant itself. I am going to return to this point later on. The second pillar that is important states that all safety and security systems and equipment should operate normally and unhindered and be fully functional. We know and we observe that the operators at the plant were operating under extremely challenging circumstances, together with military equipment and vehicles in different parts of it. Our concrete recommendation in this regard is that the military vehicles and equipment that are currently present in buildings, inside nuclear buildings on the site, be removed so as not to interfere with normal operation of the nuclear safety and security system. The third pillar states that the operating staff must be able to perform their duties without undue pressures or difficult circumstances. And of course, this is something that, as you know, has been addressed time and again during this crisis, and especially since the nuclear power plant was occupied last March. So we could work together alongside the experts, and we come, of course, to the conclusion, which is in the recommendation, a specific recommendation in my report, that the operator should be allowed to return to its clear and routine line of responsibilities and authorities, and an appropriate work environment must be reestablished, including with proper family support for the staff. Pillar number 4 is the one that refers to the off-site power supply. I also referred to this in the past, and as you know, this is crucially important in the sense that a nuclear power plant without external power supply may lose crucial functionalities, including the cooling of the reactors and the spent fuel. Without this, we could have a very serious nuclear accident. So regarding this pillar, the IAEA recommends that the off-site power supply line redundancy be reestablished and available at any time. For this to be possible, all military activities that may affect the power supply systems must be stopped immediately. The fifth pillar states that there must be uninterrupted logistical supply chains and transportation to and from the sites. You have to imagine that this nuclear power plant, as the Secretary General was rightly reminded, as the biggest in Europe, is a large industrial site requiring a constant flow of spare parts and other equipment. Situation that is, of course, abnormally interrupted now in face of this conflict. Our concrete recommendation in this regard is that all the parties should commit and contribute to ensuring effective supply chains. And in this regard, we would like to remind that through the IAEA assistance and support programs that we applied, for example, in Chernobyl, a flow of supplies has been significantly reestablished, and a similar mechanism could be applied in Zaporizhia. The sixth pillar is the one that refers to the functioning of the radiation monitoring systems to know what is the situation and whether there is radiation in the atmosphere. We do have sets of networks of monitoring equipment that have been affected. The concrete sixth recommendation in our report indicates that the site should continue ensuring this functionality, including by drills and exercises which the IAEA can help in assuring. And the seventh and final pillar states that there must be continued and reliable communications with the regulator, with the Ukrainian regulator, and with others. We have seen repeatedly that these lines of communication have been
weapons
interrupted.
of mass destruction.
So the IAEA recommends in its seventh recommendation, corresponding to each one of the 7 pillars of the safety and security, that reliable and redundant communication means and channels be secured at all times. Dear colleagues, Mr. President, the mission that took place last week, a historic one indeed, has provided us and the international community with a precious instrument in the presence of an IAEA assessment and monitoring mission that could provide us all today with a comprehensive report that provides a neutral, impartial, and technical reading of the situation. But moreover, which is also of enormous value, is the fact that inspectors of the IAEA have remained at the site. So at the moment, the IAEA and through it, the United Nations and the international community have the capacity to have a direct, immediate evaluation of the situation on the ground, as may be the case, as it may happen. And this fact is unprecedented. In the past, ladies and gentlemen, when IAEA inspectors were in places which had undergone difficult circumstances like Chernobyl or Fukushima, or even armed conflict like in Iraq, it has always been after the facts. It has always been to pick up the pieces, to mitigate, to remedy
the weapons of mass destruction were ever found
in this case,
in Iraq.
The historical, ethical imperative.
This is serious.
To prevent something from happening. And by having established this presence and by agreeing to a special safety and security protection zone, we have the opportunity to prevent this from happening. As it is stated in the report, we are ready to consult quickly with the parties. We believe that this measure, which can be considered an interim measure, in the hope that other more comprehensive measures of a more effective nature in the context of the conflict, which is not in the remit of the IAEA naturally, could be agreed. But this is something that can be done now. We have the inspectors there already deployed. They are doing their work. We can agree on a very simple but incredibly necessary protective mechanism to avoid what is happening now as we speak, which is the shelling of a nuclear power plant. Let's seize this opportunity so fundamental for peace, for security, and to protect the populations of Ukraine and beyond. I thank you very much, Mr. President.
All right, folks. There it is. What do you think about that? That was the Ukraine, the Russian situation is very, very strange, heartbreaking. I mean, when you look at the civilians and you see the suffering, and you see how it could have been prevented. Yet here we are, folks. I mean, if that power plant goes up, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be 10 times worse than Chernobyl, which is in Ukraine. Folks, I don't know. Is this? I mean, when the wheels start to turn, you're like, is this a way to get rid of nuclear power? Because there's a lot of places like Germany, uh, France, and other places that are doing away with nuclear power. Is this another way to do away with nuclear power? Agenda 2030? I don't know. All right, folks, let's look at some other stories. It's insane. This is one. I don't know if we can really talk about this on YouTube, but I'm just going to show the headline from Blaze Media. You can read it. It's in bold. 92% peer-reviewed study finds, there it is, folks, horse paste. You can look that up for yourself. All right, I'm going to end it here in a minute, but I want to show you something. For all the folks watching this video later in Ohio, here is something you might be interested in, because we have the lesser of two evils, right, to choose from. You have DeWine, who shut it all down. He was the guy throughout the event we had in 2020 till now. And then you have the far leftist former Dayton mayor, who may or may not have been connected in some things, possibly investigated by the FBI. But the far leftist former mayor, Nan Whaley, running for governor. But, folks, if you are a conservative, there's someone else, Usher, for governor. He's a write-in candidate, folks, if you're in Ohio. Conservative citizen candidate. Platform. I mean, this is, you got to go to usherforohio.com to check it out. It's all right here. Oh, I can't vote for the left simply out of spite, nor can I support our abuser and vote for Mike DeWine. Fortunately, our system has a remedy for this situation, and I plan to exercise that remedy as a write-in candidate on behalf of all Ohioans that feel the same way. Usher, 29 August. I guess we can go through a little bit of this. What do you say? 62 days left, folks. 8 hours, 46 minutes, 33 seconds. Are you afraid of splitting the vote and getting Democrat elected? Let's see here. No, we believe our core support comes from people that won't have voted for Mike DeWine anyway. We simply want to give all those folks another option on November 8th to stand up and be counted. Ladies and gentlemen, Ohio's ran by Republicans. If Nan Whaley gets in, she's got a House and Senate state that's all Republican. Republican ran. So if you vote for Usher, I think you'll be okay. You're not really splitting the vote, are you? Is DeWine really that much of a Republican that we have to stand with him? He's not a DeSantis Republican, is he? No, he certainly isn't. He's more of a Nan Whaley Republican, which is a rhino. Is your message only vote for me because I'm not DeWine, or do you have a plan to govern? As appealing as the message is on its own, there is a plan to govern. I watched a video earlier today. I'll try to bring it up. I'll post it over on Truman's Town Hall Facebook page, which I will add this. Let me add the banner, folks. I'll add the banner, and it shows where you follow us on Facebook at Truman's Town Hall Podcast. All right, and I'm gonna post this video over there. It's from the Ohio Forum. Wow, doggone it, I can't think of it right now, but I'll post it over there. It was a video with Usher speaking with Damon Appel, who I was going to have on the podcast. Things came up. I didn't get him on the podcast, but I'll get Damon Appel on the podcast here soon, and you can find it on Apple and all this stuff. But Damon Appel, he ran for Attorney General here in the state of Ohio, and he was trying to run. He didn't get the signatures, but he did an interview with Usher, and the guy's smart. The guy, he's pretty doggone smart, folks. So check that out. Hope you check it out. I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I know it's late. I'm tired. You're tired. We're all tired, right? We're tired of the same old, same old. I don't know. I need to make these videos a little more exciting. I know. But thanks for watching anyway. If you made it this far, wow, you're a trooper, and I appreciate you. Share with a friend. The podcast is way better. I need to work on my live presentations. Talk to y'all later.